Hello, everybody. I am your Gods Unchained game director, Chris Clay, and I am very excited to be here today with our CTO, Alex. We're going to talk a little bit about the marketplace and some other things I know. What's going on? What? Yeah. All right, keeping it serious. Alex is here today to talk about the marketplace, a little bit about how that whole process went, and a little bit about where it's going in the future. So I'm going to slide on over.
Thanks very much. It's good to be here. I've never been on Stream with a Wrap before, so this is a bit of a new experience for all of us. Welcome, everyone. First off, congratulations to everyone. We sold out the pre-sale.
Oh, yay.
The people spoke and voted, and the people decided that they wanted to see whether a man could actually become a rat. And we have determined indeed that they can.
Squeak!
Firstly, we'd just like to say a really big thank you to everyone for the last couple of weeks. Obviously, we were pretty much over here, we were working pretty flat out to get everyone their cards. And I know that in Discord, everyone was waiting quite extensively and with great anticipation for the release of trading. And we're super thankful for everyone for bearing with us in the process, and also turning the whole experience into what was actually a really awesome weekend of trading. I know I've been on the marketplace a bunch of times to check things out, and it's so exciting to see all these cards and all the buying and selling. So it's fantastic. What we managed to do was actually pretty crazy in the end, right? In just a few weeks, and then after a couple of sort of incidents, in just a few days, we were able to get all the cards activated for under 100 billion gas. We're super stoked about it. Yes, obviously the process did drag on a little bit, and I think there'll be some more questions about that afterwards, and I'll try to go into some detail about what actually was going on under the hood.
Did somebody say questions?
Yep. So feel free to ask some questions there. It's a nice prompt.
I think the other important thing is this sort of activation process after a set is done with its pre-sale is a one-time thing. In the future, we'll be able to activate cards through future sets as they're created, so that we can just unlock trading at the end without.
I think one of the things we definitely will cover, because I know there's been a lot of questions in Discord about it, even if they haven't happened in the chest, and that's been about what's happening with sort of additional raffle trinkets, Genesis boards, essentially all sorts of trinkets, boards, and stuff on chain. The plan is to roll that out over the next couple of weeks. We're interested in getting essentially everyone's cards and boards and trinkets to them as quickly as possible, and then to start using that and building that into a full sort of ecosystem of boards and trinkets. There's so much stuff that we're going to be able to do, making the game really feel more customizable for our users. We want you to be able to represent if you've got a sick dragon, or if you've got some of the dope trinkets. I know I'm super excited to see some of my crypto kitties come to life on the board, and so I'm excited about that journey. This is currently the marketplace homepage. We have a few things to talk about here. Firstly is how amazing lots of this art is looking. Every time I come back to this page, I'm stunned by some of the amazing card art that we've got here. Essentially, the purpose of this page is so that we can get people to click on things that they don't normally click, right? I'm going to be working over this a few times, and we'll see this change in the future as well. But essentially what we want to do is find nice sorts and filters, particularly when we get things like boards and trinkets coming online as well, so that users can access all different types of content really quickly and really easily just from the home screen of the marketplace. And so each one of these runs sort of a custom search query on the marketplace. And so you can see here this main banner, Legends of the Gods, links through to all of the legendary cards, where we can see a little bit about both each different proto, the number that are available of that, and the prices of those cards. Still crazy to me that there are only sort of 30 or so of each legendary, if that, on the marketplace at the moment. At the moment, obviously, if you just do an empty search or you click go, then you'll see everything, right? And we can do sorting by price. This one's an interesting one. So using the categorized by, you can split things on God and rarity, so that you can see all the most expensive cards at each sort of point. Obviously, the remaining bit is still the trader. The trader is the interface that we use to sort of delineate between buying and selling. Fairly standard flow. I can sell an item. I think I'm actually on Petrify's account, so I may actually be able to sell his cards right now. What is the max?
Part of the question there is, how fast do you want him to become charging through that door?
Yeah, I think we're going to have Petrified here in a few minutes, but we may be able to speed that up if I start selling all of his cards. But no, I wouldn't do that to our game designers. Yeah, I think the other question that we've been getting a lot today is about core card fusing. Obviously, we're very excited about the ability that people are going to have to fuse core cards, but we're taking the time to get it right as well, right? And that means putting in provisions both around the UX around the acquisition of core cards, the UX around the acquisition of Flux, systems about bot detection and things like that. We very much want Flux and core card fusing to be a key part of our economy, right? The game's been designed to work with both Genesis card trading and with core card trading. And we think that part of what can sometimes feel missing from the core loops and things like that, that it's super crucial for us to get that set up as quickly as possible so that we're able to do that to our players. Like we want to have a robust economy where you can buy and sell as many cards as you want. Yeah, I think we should actually chat about the wallet. I know there's been some confusion about sort of the user experience at the moment where we bounce you sort of in and out of the client during the marketplace transaction flow. And part of that is because the current flow is a bit of a placeholder. So internally we're working on, we want this game to be played by people who do not understand what crypto is, right? We really want to make sure that this game, while it has all the benefits of being on the Ethereum blockchain, while we do have that sort of like unlimited card tradability and all those sorts of things, we want to present that to new users just by looking at the properties of it. We want to look about, I care about this because it means that I can trade my cards freely, I can trade my cards on secondary marketplaces, I can do all of those amazing things, right? Not that they need to understand all the details about what's going on over the hood, right? We want to bury as much of that inside really nice sort of wallet UX and put that wallet on mobile, put that wallet in the client, find ways to be able to get users to get their first cards, to get engaged and connected with the game, so that in the future they'll be able to buy even more things off the marketplace and to be able to engage in our economy super robustly.
Yeah,
cool.
The other thing that I guess I'm going to tease at a little bit, and maybe this is something that people care more about after they've done some research, but we've been working forward on the Gods Unchained story and what the next year is going to look like, both in terms of cards, our key characters, just the arc that the gods are going to go through. And very excited to announce that we've been working with Kelly Diggs on that. For anybody who knows about that other card game that's been around for like 25 years, he's worked on some of the strongest sets for that game, which will remain nameless. And it's been really great developing some of those key characters and just seeing where we're going to go. And it makes me very excited for essentially what we're going to be doing over the next year, both in terms of art and cards and just some of the metagame around the core card game.
The big one that everyone's asking is, when is 1v1, and we really want 1v1.
Yeah, so 1v1 is very high on my list as well, and pretty sure I've said before on stream that basically unlocks the competitive tournament scene for the public to create around the game. That is high on my list, but it's behind Marketplace and it is behind fusing and getting core cards onto the blockchain. Progress has been made on that front internally. We've been able to do some, basic friends and chat stuff, but we still have work to do to be able to launch games correctly. So soon.
When is Ambar Arrow coming back? So the bug with Ambar Arrow is actually very tricky, and it requires a new build, which means that it will come back in 0.20. And along with 0.20 will be some other really cool things that I think we're allowed to talk about some of them.
Some of them are no work yet. We think they're gonna work, but we don't know. So maybe we no say, because then we have hot minutes.
Is this an Italian accent?
I'm an Italian mouse now. I don't know why.
As an Italian man, I'm highly offended.
That's I always go to my Mario voice when I have no idea whether we should do something or not. You can ask. It goes way back.
I'm just going to pretend none of that happened. But one thing I have teased the public about before is the new Mulligan system. Damn RNG, just ruined my lethal.
Yeah, the new Mulligan system is one we can talk about for sure.
Yes, so the way that the new Mulligan system is going to work, it will prevent players from getting the same card back that you've mulliganed. There's also a change in the way that you mulligan. So rather than mulliganing one card at a time, all of your cards at a time, you actually mulligan one card at a time. So you'll mulligan a card, see what card you get, and then you'll decide, okay, do I want to mulligan that card that I just got, or do I want to, mulligan a different card? So you have way more information when you're making the mulligan, which is going to lead to some interesting decisions having to be made much earlier on in the game, which should be very exciting. So the mulligan, for anyone wondering, is the very start of the game when you're choosing what cards you want in your opening hand.
Any input on core card leveling stuff? So essentially, in this current sprint that we're working on, getting the card packs, the epic and legendary card packs rewarded correctly is in the sprint. Once that happens, people will retroactively get the packs that they missed in the initial system. So hopefully sometime in the next 2 weeks, that will all be sorted. I can't tell you exactly when. One of the ways that we're going to be able to help out our streamers the most is growing the community. So getting more players in, making it easier for them to join the game, making them want to stay around as Flux comes on and a lot of our core loop systems to sustain engagement come on. Creating the community will then create more viewers. And in that vein, making it easy for people to view. So getting a plugin so that you can mouse over the cards, make it easy for people to link through to the streamers, trader, things like that. There is a lot to be done there. It's something that's going to happen over the course of the next year. The flashy side of things, performance of the game is also at front of mind in the quest to get to mobile, making sure that the game is performant enough to work well on the mobile platform as well as a wide range of PCs. We are just in the final stages of solidifying our PC/Mac min specs, and then really putting in the effort, over the next, number of months, insert here, to make sure that we're hitting the sort of minimum acceptable frame rate of 30 frames a second, even on our min specs. It's not necessarily true today, but it is something that's really important. And luckily, there is some low-hanging fruit within the system to go pluck to get us there.
Yeah, so we have time to take a couple more questions. I think Clay might be...
I literally have a steering committee meeting right after this in 5 minutes.
Yeah.
That's going to be an interesting one. I don't know if you've ever tried to be a commanding presence in a leadership meeting when you look like this, but it's something. And I'm about to find out just how hard it is to be taken seriously when you look like a rat.
Just bring them some cheese on a platter.
That's not helping.
Nope.
You're not
okay.
helping now.
I'm sorry.
Digging deeper.
When you booster packs, guessing you're asking when the new expansion is, and we can't tell you a date, but it is being worked on very heavily, and there is some cool stuff.
I'm pretty comfortable saying that we'll start spoiling that in the new year.
Will we get an end game log to examine? So one of our developers in their own time has been privately working on a replay system, which would be very primitive and web-based, but still a replay system. I don't know when that will come, because that's something they're doing because they love the game. So yeah, that would be awesome when that gets released.
And a lot of the replay work is a precursor to getting an in-match sort of log of what's going on. That's obviously important too. So, working on it.
Awesome. We might have to wrap it up because Clay has to go run a leadership meeting or a steering committee meeting
now. I'm already late.
In the rat costume. He's going to run on his little wheel across All right, so it's been awesome. If you have any more questions or anything you want to know, please hit us up in the Discord. Ask myself, I'm very active in there. Ask Meals, or put in the feedback question channel if we're not around. And we hope to see you guys for another stream in the future. And please let us know what you want Clay to cosplay next time. No, I'm kidding. That's not going to happen.
No, I do it again. It wasn't.
It might be
fun.
my turn. Or
Maybe.
yeah.
I'd be all in for that.
Anyway, whatever you want.
Cosplay a real man.
Let us know in the channel in Discord. Thanks everybody. It's been a real
It's
good
been
stream.
something.
Alright, we'll see you later.
Cheers.